All right, guys, and welcome back to another AMA podcast with Blockstar. Today, we're honored to have one of our very own first projects that came and was part of the Blockstar ecosystem. We have Bottle Rest with us today. Super happy to support those guys. They also just listed their first series of NFTs on our platform. We're at the NFT marketplace on Blockstar. So, want to give Trevor a chance to introduce himself, tell us a little bit about his project, and how we got into crypto. So, Trevor, if you just want to tell us kind of about your background, what made you get into crypto, how long you've been in the space, and then we'll go into your project.
Yeah, of course. Well, let me give a proper introduction. My name is Trevor Canody. I am the CEO of Honor About Tuesday. We're a manufacturing company. And as you said, David, we have this project, Bottled Rest. But to get into my background a little bit more, I've worked in the blockchain space professionally for just about a year now. Next month is the year mark, so I'm really happy about that. But I had gotten into crypto within the last 2 years, and it's not like I wasn't unaware of it. I had a buddy back in '09 who was really pushing me to get on Bitcoin, and I was still in high school at the time, so obviously broke. But he was like, "Oh man, you got to get this. You got to go through a Tor browser." And I'm like, "Okay, wait. So you want me to give you my real money, something I can hold, for your fake money that I can't use anywhere and could be worth zero?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, no, it's going to become something." And so I've slowly watched the price of Bitcoin, and of course the overall crypto markets continue to increase. And I had a lot of hemming and hawing to do, and again, the fact that it wasn't tangible, it was something hard to wrap my mind around. But I mean, when you see the amount of the U.S. dollar, the overall supply that's in circulation, I believe that the statistics were 80% of the total supply in circulation has been printed over the last 2 years. That's highly alarming, and that's when I started to understand crypto. I'm like, oh, for the most part, there's a fixed total supply. There is no inflation at that point, and it became that much more attractive. So, I mean, I think I definitely did what a lot of people did, which was go through a major centralized exchange such as a Coinbase or a Binance.us, and I
Sure.
was I was going after tokens and coins that sounded familiar, but maybe I hadn't done all the research on, and then uh, found the entire degen space. So people just doing meme coins and seeing people make money. I mean, I think the best trading I've ever done with day trading, I turned $50 into 10K in one day, and I mean, I felt like I
Nice,
was on top of the
nice.
world. Then the following day, I proceeded to lose 15 on refinable. So
Right.
yeah, that hurt a lot. And
So you got the education, you've seen the ups and you've seen the downs, and so now you're still in the space and everything, still looking for that first experience of going from 50 to 10K again, right?
oh my gosh, yeah, I would love to be able to chase that, but my investment strategy has changed as I've learned. Nowadays I look for projects that are worthwhile, that have utility, that will survive a bear market like we're currently in. I mean, I keep hearing numbers thrown around, and of course they're coming from these so-called crypto experts, which, I mean, crypto's been around for a little over 10 years, or I guess blockchain technology. You There isn't enough statistical data out there to truly call yourself an expert or try to guess trends. People want to quote Fibonacci sequences so much. I know with this latest dip, people are saying, "Oh, Bitcoin's going to drop to $11,000 if we, base it off of what happened in 2017." And it's like, man, the macroeconomic situations of today are so different than 2017 that I don't think you can even begin to truly predict, even
Right.
with 10 years worth of data, what is going to happen.
Well, I think you've got your foot and your grounding in crypto and exactly how it works, and all the experts out there that claim to be experts and everything. But what we want to hear about today is bottled rest. So tell us a little
Okay.
bit about the project and everything, and how you came up with this brilliant idea of doing race and stuff. I won't go too much into it. I'll give that honor to you. But tell us about your
Thanks.
project and how you got this started.
Well, so bottled rest was a concept that was born between myself and another gentleman. And more than anything, I was riffing, and he was being a nice sounding board and listening. But I'd always played around with the idea of NFTs. And I mean, we all saw the major art phase of NFTs where it's like, oh wow, it could be anything and it could sell for a ridiculous amount. Like even a digital house sold for 600,000, like ridiculous numbers. And so I had always thought NFTs were pretty pointless unless they had utility. But I was like, all right, well, what could we do? And I'd just been complaining about how exhausted I was just from work and the weekend in general. And it's like, man, if you could bottle rest, that would be game changing. And it's like, hold up. What can we do with that? That's actually a very catchy name.
Sure.
But once again, it's like, all right, well, what could you do? I was inspired initially by that influencer Belle Delphine selling Gamer Girl bathwater back in the day, where it's like, oh wow, it's a baby food jar with water, and you're claiming that she's bathed in it, and it became something where people just had to have it. It was like the pet rock, and I'm like, wow, it'd be cool if I could create something like that. And then I'm like, well, you don't want to get sued from people drinking water, so I mean, what would be the next step? Again, it's kind of counting on people being ridiculous and stupid, where it's like, what would be wild if you could sell them an empty glass bottle? And it's like, oh my God, like it was something fun. And then I'm like, once again, it has no utility though. So it means nothing. So I sat around for a week and just really did my research and was like, okay, what can I do with my background? So for those who don't know, which again, probably nobody, I have a blue collar background. I was a professional welder for a period of time. I did a lot of work on concrete boom rigs. I have multiple electronic certifications, CNC operator. I really love working with my hands and building things. So I'm like, well, it would be fantastic if I found a way to involve that somehow in this process, and went down the 3D printing route. And
Right.
I'm like, okay, again, what is different about my idea versus anyone else's? And I was like, well, I could build probably a couple things with it, but again, there's all these games, these play to earn games out there that are purely digital. What would set us apart? What would make us different? And it's like, oh my gosh, if we were to build these courses ourselves, 3D print them, design them, that would be completely different. Sure, it's gimmicky in a way, but it's a real world play to earn game.
Right. So
And
what you've done
so
essentially and everything is being able to bring that blue collar world and everything of being able to use your hand and having a physical course and having physical items be able to come in and be part of the digital play to earn atmosphere. Is that right?
exactly. And I mean, we can go down a whole rabbit hole of bringing something tangible from the blockchain space, whether it be an NFT or whatever, just having a physical representation. So much is possible, and the technology has continued to improve. But with bottled rest, what we finally decided, both myself and my COO, Garrison English, was okay, we need to be able to create a spectacle, something that will draw people's eyes. And so, yeah, marble race is exciting. I think they were heavily popularized again with COVID back in 2020 and everyone being stuck at home. But once again, it's a regular sized marble course it's entertaining, but it's like we got to do something above and beyond. So it's like, all right, well, instead of marbles, if we can eventually scale this up to the point where we're using bowling ball sized balls and
Sure.
create an entire spectacle out of it, then it's exciting. And once again, though, it's like, okay, we need more to bring people in. I mean, anyone can just look at a camera and see the overall course, but you can't see the finer details. And it's like, all
Right.
right, in the sake of bringing people in, what if we were to take 360-degree VR cameras and have them placed throughout the entire course? That way you can see every single turn, every hazard that exists on this course, and you'd be able to see it in real time. And then going a step further, because it is a 360-degree VR camera, well, now you have your own localized metaverse. Each course would be its own metaverse. You, again, with cameras everywhere, now you have advertising space in both the physical world and the metaverse. It's something where it's like, oh my gosh, these ideas just started coming one after another in quick succession. And it's like,
Right.
this
So
is exactly what is needed. You need a color commentator, of course, to get the hype going and talk trash the entire
right.
time on just colored balls. But
You know what
yeah,
it kind of reminds me of? It gives me that feel back from my childhood and everything when we used to do the Pinewood Derby cards and Boy Scouts and everything, and then we used to go to the
Oh yeah.
national events and everything. So that really kind of sparked the interest in me and everything when I heard about your project, because it brought me back to my childhood and everything where we used to do that, and we used to have a blast. But being able to do that on a worldwide scale and everything, obviously you can't do Pinewood Derby and have everybody involved that way without having to set up exactly what you're talking about. And I'd actually like to see that and everything. And I know when my kids were growing up, that would have been a cool thing. So I think what you're doing could really set a trend line for other stuff going forward in the future, like the Pinewood Derby and other events like that would usually just be on a local level and then maybe a national level, but it could be a worldwide thing. I think the Bottle Rest is really set up to really start with that technology and be able to bring outside assets into the metaverse and everything, or your own little world and everything, and be able to do these races. Can you tell us a little bit about how it works with the NFTs and with the advertising, and what is our benefits of being involved in something like this? Not just from a course owner, but also from like a player or just somebody that wants to watch it.
Yeah, of course. So we have kind of altered initially how it was going to work. So originally we were thinking of doing bottled rest as something like a membership. So if you even wanted to be able to watch, you would have to have the bottled rest NFT. But we realized we wanted as many people to be able to participate and enjoy the courses as possible. So yes, we have the course NFTs. So those are the actual bottled rest NFTs. We have 1 through 10 up for auction right now on Blockstar. And the benefit of being a course owner, even though you said for the general investor, if you are the course owner, you get to design your own course, and you would receive 40% of the net profits. And I think one of the best parts about this is there's no upfront cost to you for materials or labor. There's the separate NFT series that would be done for each and every course that
Yeah.
allows the regular investor to
So,
have
so let
their
me
portion.
stop you for one
Oh,
second, Trevor,
yeah.
just so we can really get it clear for all those guys that'll be watching again. So, if I wanted to buy one of the 1 through 10 courses that are on the Blockstar NFT platform that you guys have launched with your collection, so what I would do, I would buy an NFT, and then I would work with somebody from your company to be able to design that course, or would I have to sketch it all up? How does that process work?
So we will work hand in hand with you if you are the course owner. I know a lot of people have ideas already going. I know one of our potential investors, he's having his 2 sons design a course in Minecraft for him,
Oh,
and then
great.
he's going to send it over to us. And I'm like, that's smart. I mean, hey, make your kids work for you instead of having to shell out money constantly on them. Have them bring in that money for you.
Right. So if we have our own plans and everything, then when we just bring them to you and say, this is what we want it to look like, give it to you, and then you'll create like a blueprint and just build it out for us. Is that correct?
Exactly, exactly. So obviously, when you're printing on a larger scale, things are going to have to be done in pieces, and that would all be done by my company. You personally wouldn't have to worry about, oh, we need to break it down into 20 individual pieces and assemble it once it's all done. You don't have to worry about that. It's simply, hey, is this structurally sound? Is this physically
Right.
possible to build? Because you can't have a bunch of free floating pieces, especially when you have weight that's going to be moving on them. You're going to
Gotcha.
deal with some
So
issues.
so just so I'm clear and everything, all I got to do is go buy the NFT and have a general idea and a dream and a design in mind, and then come work with you guys, and you guys will make it into reality for me. Is that kind of the gist of it?
That is the gist of it. Yes, sir.
Perfect. And so
Yes.
now, if you'll tell us about, just as a regular investor and everything, if I wanted to buy some of these different marbles and stuff, because I noticed the different marbles and everything in the NFT collection, you want to explain to us how those work?
Yeah, of course. So the marbles are essentially percentages of the net profits available to the general investor. So that's another 40% allocation of the net profits. Now, the marbles are in a kind of a loot box style purchase. So they're going for 0.33 BNB, and you don't know what you're going to get. But these NFTs vary anywhere from, 0.05% all the way up to 5% of the net profits. And so there's limited numbers, of course, on each of them. The more common one is going to be the 0.05%. And then the 5% NFT, there's only one of them. That is the one to go after. That's the super red ball. But
Sure.
there's something really nice. And I mean, you were the one who kind of pushed me towards this. And I fully agreed once I understood the concept of buying something you don't know. You're going to get something from it no matter what. There's some benefit to be reaped, but you don't know to what level you're going to receive. And I guess that is the addictive nature of opening something like a pack of Pokemon cards or baseball cards. You don't know what you're going to get. You're still going to get something, but again, is it going to be super rare or is it going to be common? That's the fun in it.
Right, that to me is super exciting and everything because it adds that other gaming aspect to it because you're spending the same amount and you may have the chance to get one of the lower tiers or you can get that 5%, but just having that ability to be able to win, it's almost like a lottery, right? But I'm getting
Exactly.
something for my money. It's not like I'm just buying a lottery ticket and either I win or I don't win. This gives you another level of that gaming aspect, everything for all you gamers out there or that really like the game theory. So I think having this in a mystery box setup where they cost all the same, because if not, you would obviously have to charge a lot more for these NFTs individually. So having in a mystery box, you're spending the same amount, but you have the potential of getting something that's worth a lot of money at some point, right?
Exactly.
Depending on the
Exactly. And I
advertising.
mean, with Blockstar, there's no royalties or anything. So if you decided to resell the NFT that you had purchased, I mean, you get 100% on that. That's fantastic.
Yeah, I think
Um,
that's an awesome concept, and I'm glad that you actually went that direction.
yeah, and so also something you had asked for is what is the benefit to the players? I mean, someone who doesn't necessarily have a course, doesn't have one of the Marvel NFTs to get them a percentage of the profits. What is the benefit to them? Well, again, this is going to be done in a peer-to-peer setting. So let's say each time you're competing on this course, you're throwing down $5 on a stable coin. Well, okay, let's say I played that course 20 times over the course of a day. Well, now I have 20 entries into that day's drawing. So the idea would be these rewards drawings would be done daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly. And again, based off the amount of times you have played in that time increment, that is the amount of entries you have to be able to win those rewards. So yes, let's say you're having a bad day in terms of luck. You keep betting on red. The red ball is not winning. Well, hey, at least you have that opportunity to be able to grab something from the reward section, and 10% of the net profits do go directly into that rewards program for those courses. So there's definitely, it can be very, very lucrative. You could potentially make back all your losses and then still come out on top. Again, the luck is going to be completely random. And I mean,
Right.
that's also one of the things with our courses. We wanted as little human interaction as possible. Those,
Absolutely.
however many balls happen to be on the course, whether it be 5, 10, 20, again, that is very much up to the designer of the course.
Right.
um, they're all being dropped at the same time. It's not like one's getting an extra strong push or anything like that. It's not like one weighs more, one weighs less. They are all the same exact weight. They're going to have the same balance. They're just going to be different colors as that signifier. So it's not just a bunch of silver balls running down because, I mean, let's be honest, you're not going to be able to figure it out.
Right. So let me just kind of break it down everything. So I have the ability to buy an NFT to be a course owner, and I have the ability to buy a different rarity of the marble, but that's not the actual marble in the game. That's just the rarity of the percentage of the profits that I would get from advertising and all that with the NFTs. So there is
Correct.
actually going to be a betting platform where I actually would bet, like if I want to bet $1, $5, whatever the increments are, right? And
Of
then
course.
all of that money as well, does that go directly to those NFT holders as well based on
Yes.
percentages?
Yes. So all the profits generated from that course are what's distributed to both the course owner and then the individual course investors, who have those marbles. And again, each course will probably have something different, won't necessarily be marbles to signify the individualized percentages from that 40% chunk.
Sure.
But I was speaking to a gentleman yesterday, and he was kind of going back and forth with me, and he was like, "Well, what drives people to play my course versus someone else's course?" I'm like, "Well, that's a great question. You need, as the course owner, to provide them something that they're not going to get elsewhere. So again, you're getting 40% of the net profit as the course owner. Well, how about you take 5% of the net profits and add it into the already existing 10%, for the reward system. Make it sweeter for people where it's like, oh, yeah, I'll play that course because I have the potential to get better rewards on it. Or
Right.
maybe, hey, you design a course that's so, is shock and awe related, that people always want to play it versus a course that might look a little bit plainer. I mean, it
Right.
seems like a lot of people want to have their own different themes that exist, and I'm all for that. I have, again, I told you about one of the guys who is having his kids design the course for him. I'm speaking to another guy who he's designing this on paper. Like, he's cutting it out, he's building these constructs with paper. So obviously there's going to be quite a bit of work going on between myself and this gentleman if he decides to go for a course where it's like, yeah, we'll have to now turn this all into a digital file that can actually be printed.
Sure.
So it's really amazing to see the ingenuity that people have. And then you kind of touched on, advertisers. Well, either we can have a set of advertisers that go straight through us that we can provide for your course, or you as the course owner can go search down your own advertisers. There's a lot of options, and at the end of the day, it's putting all that in the hands of the course owners.
Right.
You are the one controlling that course. You are the one pushing the viewers, the players. That is all up to you. So it's something, again, it's creating something physical, something tangible, a physical asset that is tied to an NFT. And just as the NFT, you are the receiver of all
Sure.
that control. So, we'll have a control panel built out where they'll be able to do all of this. And I mean, initially, maybe it's something that, hey, we'll have to do it all on our end to, if you wanted to throw in more for the rewards program. But initially, yeah, that's probably what's going to happen. But we do want to have that control panel built out fully. So I mean, maybe I want to throw 5%. Maybe I just want to throw $500
Right.
for an extra bonus for the day. Again, completely up to the course owner and what they
Right.
want to do.
So each course will be fairly standardized and everything, but the course can have its own rules and own payouts and all that stuff. Can you tell us a little bit as far as the prizes, like from the betting aspect? So if I'm betting $5, do I just pick a different color marble that I want to bet on? Is there different odds and everything, or is
So
it
the
even?
odds still need to be established, but when it comes to the amount of things that you can actually bet upon, I mean, it very quickly turned into something like horse racing, where you can bet upon the order of things or bet upon time factors. Heck, there'll be multiple checkpoints throughout each course, so that's a whole nother thing. Oh, I think that, or on checkpoint 3, I think it'll be red, purple, green. That'll be the top three
Sure.
balls.
So kind of
There's
like
all
horse
these different.
betting and dog betting, where you can do plays show, but you also would have check marks, and you can have different places, different check marks. Does the course owner decide how many places to pay out, or is that kind of standardized throughout all the courses?
I think that would be something far more standardized, so we wouldn't
Sure.
have to do as much on the back end for building it that much further out. Again, the course owner can definitely determine how many balls are being used. I think that you want to keep it to a relatively small number, no more than 10. Because
Sure.
again, it's not like, oh, I'm the red ball, no one else can bet on the red ball. No, everyone can bet on the red ball to win. Um, but yeah, it uh, what I had figured out is that putting the creative control in the hands of the course owners was essential. I mean, yes, I could go through the entire thing, design these courses myself, but there's something, I think that I, I feel like there's a personalized connection if you're the owner of something. So why should I be the one to build a course for you? And then just
Right.
like, all
That
right,
way you can
you're
get your
stuck with.
communities behind it and build a true following for that specific course.
Exactly.
No, I definitely follow you, and for all those guys that are out there listening and everything, if you just want to kind of tell us about, there's no token associated with this, so each course is a standalone course that the owners would go in and create and everything, and then work with Trevor and his team over there to get it built out in a real world setting, and then all the betting platform and everything it's already would have already been established at that point. So it's really kind of plug and play. The advertisers and everything is there except for the design, and that's what you guys will work back and forth with that creator for. But everything's already set up on. I know you're meaning on other places just besides Blockstar, but I can contest for Blockstar. It's a full collection that's set up. So again, you can come in and purchase one of those 1 through 10 courses, and then also take your probability fair of purchasing one of the different marble NFTs to be able to get a different share of the revenue from that entire course. And I'm also assuming that those can be branded out. Is that correct? Trevor,
Yes.
as far as for the course owner. So if another business, let's just say, for example, Coca-Cola wanted to have a course with you guys, it could be completely branded and still have other advertisers on there as well. But Coca-Cola would be the main advertiser. Is that correct?
Exactly, and it's something that I've spoken to a couple local business owners,
Sure.
even some other 3D printing companies, where it's like, we have not come across anyone who's had this idea, and I'm like, okay, well, that's reassuring to hear at the very least. And they're like, this would actually be kind of an amazing thing to do for some sort of employee appreciation, where all the profits that are generated we give right back to our employees. And I'm like,
Sure.
yeah, you definitely could do that. You could have this as an additional source of income for your company, and of course that's completely up to them what they're going to do with it. But yes, it is exciting to know that it's not just crypto people who want to get involved with something like this. It's the average business owner who realizes the potential for what this could truly yield.
Right. So as a crypto owner and everything, is there a reason that the crypto platforms say if they wanted to have a course like Blockstar, is there any reason why we couldn't implement like the Blockstar native token into your ecosystem to be able to pay for those things to help generate volume as well? Or do we
I
need to
would
stick with
welcome
it?
it. I would be more than happy to welcome that. I mean, that's the whole reason we wanted to be able to work with you is, yeah, we're not looking to build out our own token system. We're here to provide this service more than anything. I've seen a lot of projects out there who come out with a number of different tokens, and it's like, no, I'm not here to create an entire system. I'm simply here to help facilitate this and get some amazing courses built and get people excited about something. Because I mean, as we stated earlier on, I don't remember if we were recording or not, but with the crypto markets the way they are, people need something to look forward to, something that provides levity instead of just constantly seeing, bear news, a lot of FUD floating around. It's like, oh, let's do something different. And again, that's bringing a physical good and attaching it to an NFT.
Sure. So this AMA is a little bit different and everything, obviously, because there's no token associated with it. And really, these courses are individual courses based on the owner or the project owner of it.
Yes. David, you still there?
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. So I know it doesn't have the token and everything, so it's not a typical tokenomics, but I'm assuming there's some type of breakdown per course of how many NFTs for that probability for the mystery box. Can you kind of tell us about that and everything? Kind of the tokenomics behind. I know it's 40% for the courses and 40% split up on the other. Can you give us a little bit of breakdown of how that works for those individual NFTs that are in that mystery box?
Yeah. So based off, okay, so the total supply of those mystery box NFTs adds up to 40% of the net profits. So, for example, because I do have the breakdown here in front of me, um, I had mentioned that there's that 5% NFT and then the ranges. So of the 5% NFT, there's only one of them.
Sure.
There's 1% NFTs, there's five of them. So that's a grand total of 10% allocated right there. We have the 0.5% NFTs, there's 20 of them. 0.1% NFTs, there's 100 of them. And then finally, with the 0.05% NFTs, there are a grand total of 300 of them. So that does add up to the 40% right
Right. So
there.
I'm paying
It's
0.33 and have the opportunity to get anywhere from 0.05 all the way up to 5%. Is that correct?
the correct 5% of the net profits of
Perfect.
that course. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Super, super exciting. Is there anything else about your project that we haven't talked about that you would want to tell us about? Something that's exciting that's coming up in the future, or things that you're working on in the background about the betting platform?
So yeah, I will say this: the one thing that again, we're all about building stuff here, and David, you and I talked about this as well, is the fact that every single bottle dress NFT that we sell will in fact be attached to a real world physical bottle, and that will be used as a visual representation at our headquarters, of course. But yes, there is a physical object actually attached to the NFT itself. That's very exciting. And then in regards to the, let's see if I can reveal anything else right now. One of the biggest things, honestly, that my company believes in is not revealing information until we have it 100% locked down. I don't want to give out any sort of dates or impressions
Sure.
until things are 100% certain. And I think more than anything, investors really do respect that. Again, it's something uncommon. I would rather under promise and over deliver, and I don't want to under
Absolutely.
promise at all. I don't want to mention anything until it's ready. I want to have that shock and awe factor for like, boom, there it is.
Yep, I could definitely get behind somebody that works in that manner, right? That under promises and over delivers, and we don't see that a lot in the crypto space. So I commend you for that. And yeah, we definitely just want the facts here. We don't want the hype and all this stuff. And I'm assuming that you don't want the negative hype behind that either when you aren't able to deliver something. So I appreciate you coming on and telling us that. One other question I have for you: what, in your opinion, will make this project success? What level do you have to get to before bottle rest becomes a success?
Well, I honestly think it comes down to building a strong community base and getting eyes on us more than anything, which is why we're going through and doing AMAs with different crypto podcasts to really build that community up. I mean, again, we want to work with Blockstar so badly because of the user base, the fact that this is something that every single one of them would be able to participate in and play against each other on. It's like, oh yeah, I want that partnership to be as successful as possible. And again, it's just about getting eyes on us. I think something I again I might have said before we started recording, but if a project wants to be able to survive this bear market, they need a strong community base that is not going to waver and that also understands that things take time.
Yeah, absolutely. And we appreciate you coming on and doing this AMA podcast with us and everything. We appreciate you guys setting up your group and organization and everything. Guys, this is not financial advice, but we are backing them. Obviously, this is a partnership between Blockstar and the Bottled Rest company to be able to do our course individually, but then also to support them going forward and help getting the word out to the other course owners that are going to be coming in as well. And we'd love to see this being played out on the Blockstar ecosystem within inside of our games module. And we're going to work towards that with Trevor and everything to see if we can't get him pulled in. Excuse me. So we're looking forward to it and everything. Definitely, again, like I said, it's not financial advice, but we as a company are backing Bottle Rest and everything. And I have no problem. Most of you guys know me out there. I have no problem attaching my name to being involved with a person like Trevor. Super confident in him and his ability to be able to deliver these things. He's done a great job. The designs are top notch, and I think they're going about it the right way, and they're not doing all that pump and dump and hype and everything associated with the coin. They're really sticking to the NFTs and building utility behind it, and really bringing in the real world outside of us and building out these different courses and stuff and bringing them to the blockchain community. So we're really looking forward to that and everything. And we definitely want to follow the progress of Trevor and what he's doing over at Bottle Rest. And we want to invite him back anytime he has significant or major updates and everything. Definitely come back, share them with us in our community over at the Blockstar official group. You guys can also check out their official page here on Blockstar as well, and that's under Bottle Rest. And then they also have another one, the Honor About Tuesday. So definitely check those guys out. And we encourage you guys to do that. Also, go check out their collection over on the Blockstar NFT Marketplace. They have their own collection. It's called Bottle Rest. Just click down at the bottom and it'll show you everything that's going on and all the NFTs available to purchase. I'm going to give you the final words, Trevor. So if you got anything that you want to shout out to the community, this is your opportunity to do that. And then we're going to get it wrapped up. And we'll also be recording this for all of those people that missed it. We will make sure that we get this posted today.
Of course. Well, first off, once again, I just want to say thank you so much, David. I mean, we've known each other now for what, 4 months plus, something like that. Sorry about that. The dog's going crazy. But it's been really nice to grow our relationship and go back and forth. I mean, for those who aren't aware, I talk to David pretty much every single day. This man has answers. He has ideas, suggestions. I absolutely love it. You can check us out on all of our socials. It's simply Bottled Rest. We've got them all. We've got it trademarked. I made an announcement to my community, but Blockstar is going to be our predominant form of communicating with our members. That's where we're going to be doing everything. So yeah, we'll post general updates on each of the socials, but if you want day by day updates, you want that daily interaction, you want to interact with our community, definitely do it through Blockstar.
Once again, Trevor, we wanted to just say thank you for coming and joining us on that AMA and podcast, everything. You've been super informative, and we appreciate that. We're going to wrap it up here, guys. So definitely go check them out and everything. He left you all the socials. Check them out on the NFT marketplace. Go support these guys. Support us on Blockstar, because the first course that we are doing is the Blockstar course. And there's going to be some announcements coming soon from the Blockstar company and everything about how we're designing our course and what we're doing to work with Trevor going forward in the future. So thank you guys for joining us. Make sure to catch us this next Tuesday. We'll start holding all of our weekly AMAs and podcasts for Blockstar. And we look forward to having Trevor and Bottled Rest back, and then look forward to other AMAs and other projects coming on board. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
Thanks, David.